Morning. Early start today. England regional training, so it's like a 6:15 start. It must be, I'm out the door, yeah, 6:20 now, so out the door early. Woodall Spa today for England regional girls training programme, so I just thought it'd be a great chance to bring you along for the day. It's all about short game today. A squad of 6 girls aged 11 to 16, predominantly 11 to 13, 5 of them. We're just going to go through short game. We're going to look at how we can evaluate short game shots, how we can develop short game shots, pretty much right around the green. Then we'll develop it maybe into a bit of bunker play and into a few little sort of awkward shots, and then we're going to back that up this afternoon with loads of putting. So great chance for you. Come along for the day. Give me your feedback. Tell me what you think. Yeah, but here we go. Here's a day with England Golf Regional Girls. Okay, so the girls are out now doing just some baseline greenside chipping to begin with. They have got 9 shots set up around 3 different greens here, variability of difficulty, and what they're really looking at is just pacing off in footage. They know what world class looks like. We've had that discussion already. So they're making sure they drop every time. Is one thing we always do. We go one ball, we make sure we drop, we rake and roll in bunkers, and we're just looking at decision making, the process that they go through. This is without any coaching to begin with. We're just seeing how they deal with the process, what they do, how they go about it, how they look around lie. Do they choose the club first before they make their decision, or vice versa? So what's pretty typical at the early stage is we see a lot of players will take the club out and then they'll drop the ball. So they're making a decision after they've already picked the club out. And it's a shot they do not want to miss right, because this just feeds off the green. It's just held the slope, I think, yeah. About another 2 feet right of that, and it runs all the way down off into the swale here. Again, somebody else already just chosen the club, and then they've dropped it. As you can see, that club she had there, she almost having to land it on top of a little hog's back. Okay, let's get number 4 in. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so talk me through the process again, what you've just done. So, what's the lie like first of all? What's your first L?
Line.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, show me where you want it to land. Walk up there, have a look. Okay, lovely. Okay, so your next L. Yeah, so what I want the shot to look like. So you just see it going high, see it going low. Okay, next L from there. Think about if it's breaking or not. What L would that be? Line. Okay, so what with this shot you've got here, what's the line look like on it? Okay, lovely. So you can make adjustments. You'd almost do that before you look to get the look of what it's going to be like. Yeah. Okay. Okay, lovely. So now I want you to visualize how you're going to land this, how it's going to run out, and then execute it for me. Okay, so how was that for your landing spot?
Maybe just a little bit far.
Okay. Okay, so I've been taking the girls through a bit of a process of 5 different Ls. We're now looking at how they can just be experimental. We talked about the girls feel they don't muck around enough with their short game. So we've got them playing just different types of shots from different lies, getting a feel for how they need to play different shots. Can they look at grip pressure? Can they look at the loft of the club that they use? What are they going to do off a different lie? Can they execute that on a Saturday when the clubhouse is full on the patio and they've got to play a shot over the top of something? coming out from a green side there, what loft do they need, how much speed do they need to put on it, what's the grass gonna, what effect it's gonna have on it. So trying to give them just 5-10 minutes now, just experimental stuff, playing with grip pressures, lofts, lies, landing points, different trajectories, to help them become better players. I love it. So the girls are now back on another run round on the short game area, so they're going back to the same skills challenge that they did this morning, trying to incorporate some of the areas they worked on. Yeah, nice shot, well done. And just trying to get them to challenge, really, to think about the shots that they're playing, the process that they're going through to play those shots, what club do they need to take, etc, etc. So interesting concept to see how quick they take it on board, or I'd expect them to not, but more how can they take this into their mucking around sessions in the week and start to be able to play different kinds of shots. Okay, it's lunchtime. So quick reflection on this morning. Key things that we looked at, we have just worked short game with them all morning, that was the plan. Put my seatbelt on. And the key things that we looked at to begin with is what makes a world-class short game player, and what skills and attributes do they need. We worked everything from the outcomes. They started out with consistency as the main thing, so we broke that down. What does consistency look like, and what skills do they need to be consistent, what sort of outcome are we looking at, so what's good from somebody chipping inside of 10-20 yards, how close do they actually hit it at world-class level. So we looked at that, broke it down to skills, mental skills as well around that. Then once we'd done that, we went out into the short game area and we just looked, we ran a little baseline test to begin with to get them to see how good they are at chipping or aren't at chipping. What we found from that was the closest I think we had a girl hit it was about 7.5 feet average, up to about 13 feet average. That was literally from 5 paces off the green, so it's an area where they need to get so much better. Once we've done that, we set up some basic ladder drills, just get them to hit basic shot after shot after shot. Can you land it in a box, and what club is your best club to land it in that box with. All these girls hit 56s and 60s, so just getting them to hit 7s, 8s, 9s, they realise, the realisation is they can hit it in there more consistently. Then we got them to set up box 1 and box 4 from their ladder. They thought they could get it into box 4 more often. Turns out they couldn't get into box 4 at all, 4 times in a row, but they can complete box number 1. So that was fascinating again. So the girls started to come up with a design that actually the closer they land it, the better. We then developed that out onto the short game area, looking at the 5Ls, such as what's the lie like, how's that going to affect what they do. Once they know what the lie's like, then how can that change in terms of the loft that they're going to use, the line that they're going to hit it on, what they want the shot to look like, and then eventually what loft or club they're going to use to play the shot. So fascinating for them to go through that whole process. What we found is that they choose their club before they drop the ball, so they're clear what the shot they're going to play actually before they've hit it. And then so we developed that out. We then got a little bit of experimental stuff going on. They never really have talked about grip pressure, delivery of shaft angle, downhill lies, uphill lies, different kinds of lies. So we looked at how we could change that, the foot position around it, the shaft angle, the ball position, a whole host of stuff. Got them to go away, experiment how they can do that in the future. We think the girls don't really mess about much around the green, so we got them to go mess about. Once we've done that, we then put them back under the gun in the same skill test that we did earlier in the day. All 6 of them decided to take some things on board, which is good. It was all the process stuff that they took on board, so they looked at the decision making around each shot that they hit. Didn't take the club out until they decided how they were going to play that shot. And then scores came out pretty similar. A couple of the girls got better, but a lot of it was very much the same, which is what we'd expect. For them, it's just new information they need to take away and hopefully implement and learn. I think it's very tough for these girls when they hit 8 irons and it just shoots out on them and they can't control it to begin with, so therefore they put it away again. So trying to get them to trust that to use 8 irons, 6 irons, whichever club it may be, and then we can start to factor that into their development and their practice sessions. So that was this morning. This afternoon we're going on to some putting and a little bit of reflection work on Coach Now and a bit of Golf Data Lab review as well. Okay, so while we're here, I'll just give you a quick tour of the facility as well at England Golf. So that's the short game area you've just seen through there. World class, probably one of the best in the UK. Driving range next door, and I'll show you around the new inside of our National Training Centre. Okay, so this is inside our Performance Centre. As you can see as you enter it, we've got a new putt lab on the right hand side here. Studio's locked this morning. That's got the new Zen Green stage in there. We've got Quintet, we've got Sam, cameras all over that. Putting green with different grades of slope on to help players with green reading. Flip side of that, we've got our gym on this side, fully furred out. So any of our players coming in can work on their gym stuff. Alright, so now we're out playing snakes and ladders. So basically the rules on this game is the girls have to, if you 2-putt, you move to the next hole. If you 3-putt, you go back to the hole you've just played. 4-putt, you skip another hole further back. If you have a 1-putt, you get to skip a hole forward. So the only tie-in is they've got, if they finish inside a putter's length, they have to drag back another putter's length. So the idea behind this drill is to create that length of putt, that 3-4 footer all the time that you get to keep your round going. But also the frustration of knowing that if you miss, you need to go back to the hole that you just played. Tilly up there has already completed it. She cruised through it.
Yeah, that is true. Timmy's done it.
Okay, so putt for completion. So everybody comes around when we've got a putt for completion. Oh dear. Okay, the rain's setting now. Last task of the day before we go in and do some reflection. Just a 9-hole putting challenge. They've completed the drag back drill. We've had to jump into the indoor studio there while it hammered it down. That group's done. So that's us done for the day. We're just wrapping up now. Cool. So rate yourself where you're at the end of the day. Rate yourself on where you think your chipping's at compared to now you've been out there and had a look at it. And then between you girls, put your key. Yeah, again, it's your rating, isn't it? Your rating out of 10. And then put your key takeaways for me at the end of the day that you want to put down the bottom that you think, yeah, that's what I got. So that's the day done, sunrise to sunset, but really productive.